Speaking of fun, everybody's looking for fun this weekend.
Yeah, especially with the warmth and
This
mostly
weekend.
good weather. Stephanie as well. Yeah, pretty mild weather already this morning, but yeah, even hotter to come. 54 right now in Raton. We're sitting at 60 in Albuquerque, a very mild start, and we're very mild in Santa Fe. Temperatures have been kind of hovering in the high 40s, low 50s. Right now we're sitting at 51 degrees, 40 Durango, 36 Cortez. We're sitting at 60 degrees right now in Las Cruces, 62 at the TRC, 52 in Alamogordo, and 62 in Carlsbad. Temperatures mostly above normal and above freezing, except Alamosa, 32 degrees, temperatures closer to normal and yeah, at the freezing mark right now. Very clear skies, light winds, and dry air here in Albuquerque, but that high pressure allowing for with the southwesterly winds aloft despite the radiational cooling process this morning. Not as much of that cooling process, therefore, again, we're very mild. 60 right now at the Sunport. 49 Los Lunas, a little bit cooler at some of the valley locations. 57 Rio Rancho, 54 right now in Bernalillo. And those winds in Clayton and Raton switching more from the northeast around 10 to 20 miles per hour, as well as Tucumcari, bring in higher humidity at the surface, close to 90% humidity in Clayton, but from Las Vegas, Santa Rosa, Ruidoso, Albuquerque to Las Cruces, especially much lower humidity, close to below 10% relative humidity values in southern New Mexico. And very clear skies, cloud-free skies for most. Yesterday we had some sprinkles in the northeast highlands, and the high pressure to our southwest steering some upper-level clouds into the Four Corners, into the northern mountains, maybe some sprinkles in the far northern Sangre de Cristo Mountains, and as well as near Alamosa in the San Luis Valley. But mostly dry today, and for the first time this season in Albuquerque, likely getting around the 90-degree mark and kind of right on schedule. Our average first 90-degree day, May 26th, our earliest May 3rd, 1943, our latest June 3rd, 1921. So very warm today, temperatures back way above normal for this time of year. Not only very warm in Albuquerque, but even in Tucumcari in the 80s, high 90s, and look at that, around 100 today in Carlsbad. Hot and dry in Deming, not quite as hot and a little bit cooler with a more humid air mass, not only this morning, but this afternoon in Raton to Clayton because of a weak backdoor front. But we are going to be seeing that pendulum swing between humid air and drier air moving far to the east the next couple of days before a muggier Memorial Day. Now, the UV index will be higher, UVA, UVB rays on the increase because of, especially with the cloud cover, mostly sunny skies, that's going to allow for those UV rays to reach the ground. Now, we also have to watch out for the ozone. The ozone protects us, but because Albuquerque is at a pretty high elevation, more than a mile high, and with also the sun angle this time of year being very high, around 75 degrees, that will all contribute to very high to extreme levels of UV indices around 11 today and tomorrow, as high as can get, and Saturday, because of slightly more clouds, slightly lower UV index of 10, but still very high. Put on the sunblock and have the sunglasses. As that high pressure moves south of New Mexico, there will be slightly stronger wind gusts around 20 to 40 miles per hour. Those downsloping winds going down the east slopes of the mountains with a sinking air mass that will allow for that warming effect. Even hotter tomorrow in Carlsbad, in Roswell, on either side of 100. 80s and 90s returning in the eastern and northern highlands, and still very warm in the northern mountains with plenty of snow melt to southwest New Mexico in the high 90s near 100. But again, that pendulum swing of humid air to dry air will move east for the next couple of days, then moving west closer to Memorial Day, bringing in higher chances of rainfall from Albuquerque to the east, potentially around Memorial Day, and especially Monday night to Tuesday, something we'll keep an eye on. But in the Four Corners, mostly dry, just more clouds and a slightly higher chance of rainfall in Durango by the middle of next week, as well as Pagosa Springs, Farmington, Gallup, and places like Chinle. Temperatures in the 80s today, near the low 90s tomorrow. Camado, 80s, Glenwood, 90s, and Deming within a couple of degrees of 100, as well as Las Cruces and Roswell, Carlsbad on either side of 100 for the next couple of days. Cloudcroft, even in the 70s today. Ruidoso above 80. But it will be a little bit cooler today in Tucumcari and Raton, with winds switch more from the east, then more from the west tomorrow. Will warm things up, but muggier closer to Memorial Day. Angel Fire 2, Española in the 70s and 80s, including Chama and Los Alamos, very mild for this time of year. Moriarty, Cedar Crest, chances of rain increasing closer to Memorial Day, but mostly sunny, hot, and dry in the short term from the north to south valley of Albuquerque. Of course, even hotter. 90s today, tomorrow, and potentially Saturday as well, but Sunday, Monday, Memorial Day into Tuesday, a little bit more cloudy, a little bit cooler, a little bit more breezy as well, and then we warm up and dry up in the middle of next week. Either way, a good forecast ahead.
Yeah, we could use some of that moisture again because the dryness, that cough you're hearing here is from that.
Those allergens.
It's horrible. Yeah.
We need like 30 humidifiers because we're like in a big box. So I think that would be the only way to make an impact in this room.
Yeah, just a little bit of a breeze in the studio, please.
Yeah.